I'm Marta Barandi. I'm the founder and the president of the organization Promote Ukraine. We are promoting the interest of Ukrainian nation, of Ukrainian people, and of Ukraine as such as a country here in the European Union, in the Brussels bubble. Vladimir Putin, he's in his surrounding, and actually I would say even Russian people as such, and they are guided by the ideology of imperialism. So of course the ideology is primary source of their aggression. They consider Ukraine a non-existing country, and they think that Ukraine is actually sort of small Russia. There is also something else. In Ukraine he has a mission to fight against Western values, because he believes that his values are traditional ones, the family values. He has to keep them, preserve them, and whatever the West is doing, collective West is doing, is evil. Since the very beginning of the full-scale invasion, Ukrainians showed their bravery, and they have been resisting very strongly Russian aggression, and of course, Ukrainians believe in victory. There is no other way Ukraine will win this war.
So my name is Alexandra. I'm 23 years old. I originally was born in Crimea, but I was living in Kyiv for more than 15 years before war started. Yeah, it's a paradox because I haven't heard any bombing, and in the 24th of February I woke up because my parents were arguing, and I didn't realize why. So I haven't heard anything. But before, like 2 months before war started, of course it was in the air. The information was in the air about coming war, but nobody, of course, believed in it. And I even didn't believe in this. Like on the third day of war, I still was thinking that it's gonna like end in 1 week. In 2 week maximum. So I think basically first 3 days was kind of mess. I just remember people trying to buy everything. I just remember empty shelves in the supermarket, great queues to the pharmacies, and remember how we trying to made a bread because we didn't have an oven, and we fried it on the pans. From kefir, it's like sour milk with eggs and flowers. Yeah, we just spent nights in bomb shelters, day in our Telegram chats because we're trying to understand the situation, trying to understand what we're gonna do. My father, on the third day of war, he joined a territory defense group, and after 1 week he told us that you need to pack your stuff and to go away. So yeah, it's our first days of war.
Je m'appelle Anna, je viens d'Ukraine il y a 13 mois. J'ai fui de ma ville aux premières journées de la guerre. C'était très dur quitter l'Ukraine de cet homme. Ça a pris 3 jours de partir parce que tout le monde ils ont voulu partir aussi, c'était vraiment comme panique. Et pour le moment, j'habite en Belgique, j'aime bien ce pays. Et je dois dire que l'accueil que j'ai trouvé ici, c'était vraiment impressionnant. J'ai travaillé déjà ici, j'ai 2 enfants qui vont à l'école, qui parlent déjà français assez bien. Et voilà, pour le moment, ma vie est ici, en Belgique.
I'm Daniel Bijuk. I'm from Mariupol. I'm 23 years old. I come to Belgium 1 year ago. When the war started, I was working from home. Exactly, I was working on project. It was a dead of night, and I started to hear some explosion sounds from the far away. It was 3 a.m. 24th of February, 3 a.m. And then I went to my family, to my mom, to my dad, to say something happening again, because it's not our first time, because it's happened again in 2014, 2015. In 2015, on 24th of January, Mariupol also was bombed by Russians.
Ukrainian people have been fighting for the European Union since 2014, not just in words, but with their blood. Ukrainians are the first people or the first nation that has died, like people that were dying under European flag for the European values. And for 9 years, you see Ukrainians falling for European values. So of course European Union for us is not just some organization we want to be part of. It's rule of law, it's democracy, it's it's maybe some romantic vision of how the perfect life should be built in a country, because European Union does all that. It gives the platform for that.
As I said to you, my father joined the territorial defense group, and we are with my mom just took the train to the Lviv. It was 12 hours staying on our feet with no toilet. Remember that night on the railway station in Lviv with all layers of society. We were together and I was sleeping near the window. So yeah, and after that we traveled to Poland through the west of Ukraine. We traveled to Poland, to Warsaw. We were hosted by unknown family. I just found her contact in the group for help for Ukraine, and it was amazing family. They hosted us for 2 days. They just fed us. They gave us support, and I was actually really sick after spending 12 hours in this evacuation train. So I basically have a high temperature, and they treated us as we were their family. Here, my father's friend living for more than 20 years, I think, and it was only one person who invited us, because we had, in different countries of Europe, throughout the world, we have some contacts, but only he invited us. We were living for more than 1 month in small studio with his son, with him, but despite the fact that he has really limited space, he invited us and said, yeah, you should be here.
It was a long journey. The reason why I came exactly here, because of my friend here, Karina. And I went from Mariupol on 14th of May with my friend Dmitry. Actually, he helped me a lot because I was brainwashed by propaganda a little bit. Because the propaganda was there everywhere, and we were kind of in a vacuum sphere. They were saying there is no hope, everything will be Russian, we are here forever. And slowly you can't resist anymore. And it's flying in your brain and it's just stuck in your head. Some people think that it's so easy to resist for propaganda, but in reality it's impossible. It will happen soon, early or lately it will happen. And Dmitry helped me a lot, and we traveled through Russia. It was a dangerous journey. I was in filtration camps. I can call it 3 times. First one, it was in Mariupol. The second one, it was in a village close to Mariupol. It's the biggest filtration camp. And the third time, I was filtrated on Russian border between DPR and Russia.
On s'est réveillé à 5 heures du matin à cause de bombardements près de ma ville. J'ai préparé déjà une petite valise, mais quand j'ai réalisé que c'est la guerre, que c'est pas les mauvaises nouvelles, première réaction c'était choc. J'étais choquée, mes enfants étaient au lit, je commençais à mettre tous les papiers, toutes les choses que je pensais que c'est nécessaire à prendre, le vêtement pour se changer pour 2 jours, les papiers d'argent et rien d'autre, parce que le transport était assez limité pour quitter la ville. Mes amis avec qui on est parti, Ils m'ont dit qu'il ne faut pas prendre même la valise, mais je n'ai pas pu le faire parce que quand on part avec la famille, c'est impossible peut-être partir avec zéro. Alors la place était limitée et j'ai pris seulement les choses très importantes. Les enfants, ils n'ont pas compris tout de suite que c'est la guerre, pourquoi il faut partir. Ils sont laissés tout là-bas. C'était vraiment folie. Tout le monde, ils ont essayé de quitter la ville. C'était les bouchons partout, les queues pour prendre l'essence à la station de l'essence. C'était folie dans la ville. Ouais, alors. Et 2 heures après, on a reçu les nouvelles que la guerre a commencé, on a fermé notre appartement et on est parti.
Yeah, of course, it's always painful to see pictures, destroyed buildings and etc. But when you see, for example, Kherson, I traveled to Crimea even after annexation, and I did it through the Kherson. And recently, it was massive bombing there, and I just see these photos. This grocery store I visited, like it's each time when I came to Kherson to buy some buns and juices. So, and it's more painful when you see places you remember in peaceful time, and now it's completely destroyed, and you cannot like believe in it.
The first place from my childhood, it's drama theater that was bombed. It was just the biggest building in my life. I mean, I was there when I was in kindergarten. I was there when I was going to school. I was there when I was going in university, when I was meeting my friends, when I was in my student theater. Also, I had a small performance there in this drama theater. So my life was going around this drama theater, even inside this drama theater. And it was really important in my life, and just destroyed and kind of part of my soul. It's shattered in pieces.
There has never been a real language issue in Ukraine. It's all propaganda by Putin. He needed this propaganda to do the aggression, to interfere in Ukraine, to intervene. So this is like pretext for him, the language issue. He wanted to defend or protect some Russian speakers. Let's not forget our president, Volodymyr Zelensky in Ukrainian is Russian speaker. A lot of people in Ukraine are Russian speakers. There has not been an issue. The only thing that Ukrainians are, I have to say that many Russian speakers became Ukrainian speakers after the full-scale invasion. They, even after the invasion of 2014, I know Russian speakers from Donetsk and Luhansk who started speaking Ukrainian because they did not want to speak in the language of their aggressor. Because in the field, in the military field, you don't know who your enemy is if you speak the same language with the enemy. So there could be some issues, but generally there has never been any issue before the full-scale invasion and even now.
C'est une ville où tout le monde parle 2 langues, russe et ukrainienne en même temps. C'est pas vraiment un souci. Normalement, dans la famille, on parle russe, mais à l'école, dans toutes les institutions et administrations, on parle ukrainien, c'est pas de souci. Toutes les télévisions sont en ukrainien aussi. Alors, on comprend toutes les 2 langues.
My mother tongue is Russian, unfortunately. I mean, it's really hard to say because I was raised in Russian culture, and even when I came to Kyiv, I was 4 years old. And unconsciously you absorb this culture around you. And in Crimea it happened that there they're really anti-Ukrainian. So when I came to Kyiv and when I saw the traditional houses, I felt that it's like something culture of low society. But then after years, I met this culture closer, and I realized that it's absolutely like bullshit.
In my family we are speaking mostly in Russian, but for us it's not a problem to start immediately speaking Ukrainian. The difference between it's almost nothing. I mean, sometimes we can start speak in Russian, and immediately switch on Ukrainian, even not in the middle of a sentence. So for me, it's not a big problem to say that both of those languages are mother languages.
They always try to diminish the Ukrainian culture. They try to show it as culture of uneducated society, and they always compare. They always make this contrast between Russian and Ukrainian culture. And me as a child, I unconsciously absorb it, and it's insane, I think, because I'm 44 years old, and I don't want to speak Ukrainian. I don't want to be the part of this culture. Yeah, but I think after year by year, step by step, because I was studying in Ukrainian school, and I was traveling a lot throughout the Ukraine. I visited a lot of places in the west of Ukraine. I met this hospitality, I met this culture, and I realized that I'm also part of this culture because I have roots from Kiev. So my grandfather, he was born in the village near the Kiev, so I always heard Ukrainian from him, but I believe that Russian is better. And can you imagine that propaganda even influenced me as a 4 years old?
Actually, they did it quite in easy way, because they didn't give us even a chance to get food and water during the siege. So we're getting starved and hungry, and in the end they came to us like our savior. They give us some food. It just was bread and kind of cans with the food, and some supplies of water. So they came like a savior. We saved you, we rescued you, and a lot of people was fall in this propaganda. Well, we're still in this bubble of Mariupol. I mean, we didn't have any electricity source, any internet source. Everything that we had, it was propaganda newspapers from Russia and DPR, of course, rumors, and rumors was spreading by Russian people coming from Donetsk, and just news that comes from the military sources. Another fact about propaganda, to get outside of Mariupol, actually I needed to get some filtration papers. It looks like the first one that I got, it was like that. This is a ticket about my filtration Mariupol that I got, and it allows me to go around Mariupol in any area of Mariupol. And to get this paper, you need to go to the this military service and to answer the questions. It's kind of provocative questions, so that's consists of your opinion about Ukraine, about war, who was bombing Mariupol, and a lot of stuff like that. And well, for some people who try to answer honestly, it was kind of the last thing that they did. When you go to this filtration camp, you need to give to guards your identity passport, the only document that can identify you. So if you will not do that, they won't give you your passport, and they will hold you there forever in this camp.
Oui, je peux dire qu'il y a beaucoup de propagande parce que même mes parents qui regardent le télé pas beaucoup, ils commencent à parler que ici c'est pas très grave, quand tu vas revenir, tout ça va ici, les enfants ils vont à l'école, les frais de logement, électricité, gaz de l'eau pas cher. C'est nickel. Il y a la connexion avec la Russie, ils reçoivent les produits de là-bas, mais je ne crois pas que c'est vraiment une bonne solution revenir là-bas. Je ne veux pas vivre en Russie, mais je sens déjà avec mes parents que la propagande est assez forte là-bas. Il essaie d'attirer les gens et il essaie de donner d'argent et montrer que ils sont très bonnes personnes et c'est pas grave si tous les gens qui restent là-bas vivent en Russie mais pas en Ukraine, alors que tout va bien. Mais
my father in, I think, 3 or 4 months. He joined basically army and moved to the east of Ukraine, and currently he is near Bakhmut. He's not on the front line, of course, but it's a really hot spot, and I just when I have call with him, I can even hear these terrible sounds around him. He mostly has conversation with my mom, but sometimes I recently have really a bad dream, and I called him like immediately, because I even cried at night because I saw him there, and I just called him to make sure that everything is alright, because every day you can get some bad news, so, and you live in this every day.
Je communique avec ma famille seulement en utilisant le carte GSM russe, parce que toute la communication ukrainienne sont coupées et pas de chance. Oui, c'est cher quand même les appeler, mais oui, je peux le faire.
I like when people say, we are sorry for Mariupol, we are sorry for Ukraine, we're trying to help you, we're trying to give you some hope, give you anything that you really need to help yourself. And really appreciate for it, and I think every Ukrainian that come here, they feel this this relation to us, and really grateful. I am trying to thank everyone who helped me here, and well, a lot of people helped me, and try to make a little present to them. And well, we're all humans, and we should help each other to become stronger, become united.
I would like to thank to all Europeans, to all people who support Ukrainians, who did a lot for us, even by kind words. It's already like support, and sometimes if you feel it, you also raised your hope. So and I hope that we will have our victory soon.
J'aimerais bien dire seulement merci pour le bon accueil qu'ils ont reçu ici. On essaie de faire de nos mieux pour s'intégrer ou pour ne pas déranger beaucoup les gens qui nous aident. On est assez indépendante et un peu enfermée. Et manque de la langue, la connaissance qui je trouve pas suffisant pour parler avec les gens. Parfois, ils nous bloquent et j'aimerais bien demander un peu de patience. C'est tout.
Look, I'm not afraid. I am more probably angry than afraid or hopeful, because I know that more could be done. I'm very grateful for everything that Europeans have done for us, but I believe there could be more engagement, less fear, more pushing limits. I haven't cried much since the full-scale invasion, because probably this is also my way of reacting to the situation. I just fight. I have no times and no possibility to cry. But normally I am a person who is very sensitive, and when I watch series, dramatic melodramas, I do cry. But here, since February 2022, I stopped doing that and I started fighting. Join Ukrainians, find Ukrainians in your city, in your country, join their events, support them, ask them how to support them, and support them. Say yes when they ask you something. Say yes, you will do that, and do that. We need every European on our side today, because in 1 year it could be too late.